Okay, I think Dislyte Lens has been fixed. I have tried Mingue in Shadowfire, and I think he might be the best DPS for this one. Just for context, my highest average I got with the Sloan team is around 365 million. And now, look at my current highest average I score for Shadowfire. 457. That's almost 100 million damage increase in average damage. And here's the team that I ran. When you run Mingue, you don't need to run a cooldown reduction unit. Because one annoying thing about Sloan in Shadowfire is she needs the eidetic buff for her to do the additional damage, right? And if you don't have a unit to reduce her cooldowns, like for example Era with her S2, then you're gonna have downtimes on Sloan's eidetic buff and you'll miss out on a lot of damage. Mingue, on the other hand, does not care about cooldown because he will reduce his S3 cooldown every single time you crit on his S1, and his ignoring defense does not care about cooldown. All you need to do is take turns or do an action, which is why now you can run both Chuyao and Liam in the same team. Whereas if you were to run Sloan, you need one of the slots to be Era, right, to reduce Sloan's cooldown. My current best score is 529 million. And by the way, I'm using Alice instead of Shen Pin because my Shen Pin is not R2. If you don't have an R2 Shen Pin, look at that, 481 million. If your Shen Pin is not R2, the stun is way too detrimental for your team. Look at this. Most runs are above 400 million. It's pretty insane. If you were to run Sloan, you'd get like around 300, sometimes even 200,000. 200 million score. Because you can't... Whoa! 523 million. Yeah, because you can't run Chuyao in the same team as well. 380 average, that's already better than my Sloan average team. I'll do one more blitz, but this time with Shen Pin, and you'll see like the difference is pretty huge. Again, if you have R2 Shen Pin, you're gonna get a way higher score than me. But if you don't have an R2 Shen Pin, just use Alice. So far, it's not reaching 400 million because, like I said, the stun, you can't really do anything about it. But R2 Shen Pin should be able to, yeah, look at this, 250 million score. Whereas if I were to run Alice, that would never... Whoa! Okay. 570 million. Again, if you were to run Shen Pin non-R2, you're gonna get this type of score. The average is not that good, but you will have some of the runs where you can reach like 600 million, even 700 million, I think. But in order to get a good average score, it's better to run Alice instead of non-R2 Shen Pin. Okay, Shen Pin AP pushed my Chuyao, which is a good thing because when Chuyao gets attacked or when the unit with the Spirit Aegis gets attacked, Chuyao cleanses himself, right? So if Shen Pin AP pushes my Chuyao and the boss moves, that's fine. But when the boss doesn't move and if she uses her S2 on anyone, that unit is not going to move for one whole turn. And the worst thing that can happen is if she AP pushes Mingue and Mingue gets stunned. Like right here. So right now Mingue is stunned and he cannot perform assist, right? And if that were to happen during the multiplier phase, you would be missing out on almost like 200 million score. Okay, she AP pushed Chuyao again. Chuyao got stunned. Yeah, if you have R2 Shen Pin, this is gonna go crazy. You can probably reach like 700 million plus, maybe even 800 million if you get lucky enough. But yeah, when you run Mingue, you don't need to reduce his cooldown because most of his damage is coming from his defense ignore, which does not care about cooldown, which means you don't need to run Era, right? Whereas if you were to run Sloan, Era is kind of needed to reduce Sloan's cooldown so that you have the eidetic buff 100% of the time. Liam is very crucial right here because he is a healer as well. Mingue reduces his HP to 0, right? Or 1 to increase his crit damage by 2 times. So if you don't have a healer, his S2 skill will be completely useless, which is why you need Liam in this team to keep your Mingue healthy whenever he uses his S2. 542 million. Pretty insane. I'll do one more blitz. Look, whoa, 500 million again. This could be my new average. Oh, not anymore. 200 million. That is a throw run. Whoa, look at this. I got 3 runs that's about 500 million. 400 million average with the Shen Pin team. If I get lucky enough and Shen Pin doesn't stun like crucial espers, I should be able to get like maybe 500 million average even with the R2 Shen Pin. If you've been using Sloan as your primary DPS for Shadowfire, you should be able to swap her out for Mingue I think he becomes better than Sloan once he gets to R4, because his R4 is very important, which is increasing the Thunderclad's duration by 1 turn. So now he has 3 out of 4 turns where he has the Thunderclad. This is going to be very important. I'm not going to try his R6 yet for Shadow Stream because I think it's still bugged. And for Shadow Gale, I don't think it's going to be that good because we have Elif. I don't think he's going to compete with Elif, to be honest with you. And in Shadow Glow, multi-hit Espers are not good because they do reduce damage for each additional hit that they do, right? And he will also waste 1 full turn to use his S2. So Shadow Glow, he's not going to work. Shadow Gale, he's probably not going to be competing with R6 Elif. But for Shadow Stream, I'm definitely going to be getting a new high score for this one. But yeah, that's about it. Ciao.